So let's take a moment to talk about job guarantees. And I want to talk about that from a logical lens. Remember, I'm a data person. We're very black or white. And I've had a lot of people ask me about that recently. And I want to have a conversation that is grounded in reality. I am a two-time college graduate. My undergrad taught me the skills. It gave me exposure to the real world. It pretty much kind of was that transition into being an adult. My MBA gave me that structure, that exposure, those access to networks. But guess what? Neither one of them applied for jobs for me. Neither one of them guarantees me employment. Education gave me the tools, the opportunity, and a network, not the outcome. After working inside organizations for over a decade, I can tell you exactly how hiring works. I sit on both sides of the panel. Hiring decisions are made by hiring managers, teams, HR, budgets, and what the business needs at the moment. I have never seen a company hire someone simply because they completed a program. Am I saying that there are times that people get roles that are not qualified? I'm not saying that because it happens. But as far as like a blanket statement, let's think about that. What mattered every time was like that demonstrated capability. Can this person think critically? Can they communicate clearly? Can they solve a problem? Typically, companies don't hire people because they think that they deserve a job. They hire when they believe someone can actually solve the problem that they're actually trying to solve. And a big part of what a lot of people misunderstand is that rejection sometimes is not personal. Like it's not. Sometimes there's an internal candidate. Sometimes the budget gets cut. Sometimes there's already someone else that has a referral, or the leadership already knew who they wanted. That's why things like networking matters. That's why visibility matters. And that's why positioning yourself intentionally matters. And guess whose responsibility that is? Yours or mine. So when I hear about blanket job guarantees, I genuinely want people to like pause and think critically. Because if someone can promise employment to everyone who enrolls in their program, how can they ethically guarantee outcomes for a large group of people when they have no visibility into their work ethic, their consistency, their professionalism, their communication, or the biggest kicker is if they're even applying for roles? Because if someone isn't doing the bare minimum, like applying, practicing, refining, how can that employment realistically be guaranteed? How? I just think that that's an important question to ask. No one has guaranteed me anything. Not after my undergrad, not after my MBA, not after learning a new tool, not even after entering the space of data and becoming senior level analytics professional. I was outside in the trenches figuring it out. I actually was laid off myself in 2023. But what benefited me is I didn't start from the ground. I didn't start from the floor. I had the skills. By that time, I had over 10 years experience within data. I had that experience applying those skills, and I was intentional on building my network and my visibility and my credibility professionally on LinkedIn. And I landed my next role in less than 2 months with higher pay. That was not luck. That was leverage built over time. I put in the work for that. I see it. The responsibility of an educator is to educate, guide, mentor. The responsibility of a student is to apply, practice, refine. Jobs can't be guaranteed. What actually does increase your chances? The things you can control, like building skills that you can actually demonstrate, practicing how to communicate your thought process, creating proof of work through projects and portfolios, because data is an application based field, networking intentionally, and constantly applying and refining that approach. Those are variables that move your career forward. Those aren't guarantees. That is the increase of a probability. I don't promise jobs because there's absolutely no ethical way for me to guarantee that outcome. I can't guarantee my own job. Like I said, I've been very vocal about being impacted by a layoff. But what I can ethically promise is valuable skills, honest feedback, real guidance, and support as you position yourself into the labor market. Isn't something that someone hands you because you completed a program. Education gives you the tools, skills give you the leverage, and your consistency turns that leverage into that opportunity. That is how your career is built. I hope this helps. Bye, y'all.